Hi, folks. Steve Urban here, founder and CEO at recruiting firm Riderflex. If you enjoyed today's guest interview, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to the Riderflex podcast. And now, a quick word from our sponsor.
Try the #1 marketing platform for small business. Everything you need from design to marketing to CRM. Learn more at marketing360.com. Marketing 360. Fuel your brand. Try the #1 marketing platform for small business. Everything you need from design to marketing to CRM. Learn more at marketing360.com. Marketing 360. Fuel your brand.
Korri Wright on the Riderflex podcast. Hi, Korri. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Where are you at today?
I am in my kitchen in Yuma, Arizona.
Yuma, Arizona. Oh, man, you were there December, January, February. That's a nice place to be when it's cold everywhere else, I guess, right?
It is, but it's about to heat up. So,
Yes.
yeah.
My wife and I looking for property down in Arizona recently, maybe trying to find a little second winter home somewhere, and Yuma, of course, always comes up as an option. Are you from there? Where are you from originally? How'd you get to Yuma?
So I'm originally from San Diego, born and
Okay.
raised, and
Okay.
then transplanted here in my former life, I like to call it. So now it's feeding my 4 kids. So we stay in Yuma, and my oldest is in high school, and I have 2 in middle school and 1 in elementary school. So
Wow. Okay. It's busy at your house
yeah. So I've been here since 1999.
since 99. Oh, you've been there for a
Yeah,
long time. All
I've
right.
been here
Very
a
good.
while.
But
Yeah,
you went to high school and grew up in San Diego, though.
I did. Yep, Granite Hills High School in El Cajon.
Okay. And your folks, are they still around, or where are they at?
Yeah, my dad's in Cardiff and my mom is in Blossom Valley area. So,
Okay.
yep, we
All
got
right.
4
You,
seats per beach, best of both worlds.
nice, right? You can't talk them into moving to Yuma. They don't want to do
I
that. Huh?
know. They visit. They do visit. Yeah, my dad was just here for a week visiting before he went on his big trip, and it's nice. I can get anybody here in the wintertime when it's beautiful out. It's
Oh,
the summer times I got to tempt them with a pool or something.
that's right. Yeah, exactly. What'd your mom and dad do? Give me a little history there. And did you have any siblings growing up as well?
I do. I have a sister. She's 22 months older than me. Her name's Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very close. And then my dad was a truck driver, and then retired and went back to work and was a foreman for a construction company. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom when I was little, and then worked at a bank, and then went on to own her own trucking company. So
What?
yeah,
What? Okay.
yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you said your dad was a truck driver. So did your dad work for your mom?
No, no, that would have not have been fun.
Are they still together, or they're not together?
They're not
No.
together. No, my dad remarried my stepmom. Her name is Marlene. They've been together 20 something years. So yeah.
So were your
Yep.
folks together through your high school years? They didn't separate till after you were out of the house, or?
Right when my last, let's see, was I a sophomore, junior, somewhere in there in high school is when they got divorced.
That's
Yeah.
that's a little bit of a tough age, right? That's a kind of a tough age for parents to, because you're going through your own changes in life, right?
Yeah, you know what? I think any age is tough, to be honest with you, because I, put my kids through the same thing. They were younger, but
Mm,
I think that you have to do as a parent what makes you a better parent and what makes you able to parent um, down a path that you want to see your children go. So if it's the wrong path and the decision is no longer the right one, I think that you lead by example and you're able to turn your life around and make better decisions and just show them a better path, a better stage of happiness.
mhm,
I
mhm.
just think you have to do what really is in the end better for the children.
So you
So
weren't mad at your mom or dad, or if you were, you got over it fast.
I did. Yeah. No, not mad at them. They both are very happy and have great lives. Yeah.
Did your mom remarry too?
She did not. She did not remarry. No, but she has a long term. So she,
Okay.
has
All
chosen
right.
her path.
All right. You got out of high school. Did you go to college, and where did you go? If you did?
I did a little bit of community college. Was a little bit uncertain of what I was going to do. So I joined a ROP training course where I was a dental assistant. So I went up and took the test. It was going to be was an RDA. Didn't do that for a very long time. I got a job working at an orthodontist office, and then I instantly moved to the front office, which I loved because it was a lot of working with just other dentists, PR, things like that. So I moved from the mouth to marketing.
Gotcha. And was that in San Diego?
It was. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I did that for a few years, and then we ended up moving down here. So
you got married at some point in there?
I did. Yeah. I got married in 99.
And then you moved to Arizona after you got married for a job, somebody's job or something?
Yeah. Yeah. My ex-husband had family here. So
Okay.
he moved down here, started a power washing business, and then we worked that for years. Actually worked at night for a really long time. And then eventually got my real estate license and kids and all that sort of stuff. So
wow. Okay. So you were an entrepreneur then. So after you got married, basically you helped your ex-husband. You guys built a little business there, and you got your real estate license. So you've been an entrepreneur ever since you left the dental thing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I have actually. Yep. I have kind of done my own thing ever since. Yeah.
So what happened? You got the power washing business and you had 4 kids, and then one day you woke up and you're like, okay, well, this is not working out anymore. You got to go. And
Pretty much.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. It just, things were going down a path that I wasn't comfortable with. And it was something that I didn't really want in my life. So I chose a different path, and the kids, they go back and forth between both houses. Yeah, I think it's made the situation much better. The kids are happy, and he got the power wash business, and I moved on through real
And you got
estate.
the house. You got the house and the cars, and he got the power washing business.
I got the house. He got the power washing business. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Yep. And then
right.
I moved on to be a model home agent. I did that for a couple years.
Okay.
And then was fortunate enough to meet my boss that I have now. And I project manage new home construction and all sorts of different things. So it's an awesome job.
Okay. And who do you work for? Can you say that on the podcast?
I work for, it's called Inocasa Holdings.
Okay.
And we just build residential homes here in Yuma.
I'm starting to see the tie-in on how this all happened with the ceiling fan, because you've been in real estate and homes, and you're trying to I see where this is going. Okay. All right. So the power washing business goes away. You get there, you got this job, you're dealing in a little bit of real estate. You got this job you're doing. Okay. Meanwhile, you're busy with 4 kids, which is a huge job. All right. And you're not remarried now. It's just you.
Yeah. Just me. Just living the dream,
Ooh, I don't know. Oh man. All right. I don't know how you're doing that with 4 kids. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right. So what happened? So give me the story here. You're doing your job. You're getting homes ready. You're selling homes. You're showing homes. Whatever. What happens? You're like, damn, these damn ceiling fans are getting on my nerves. Nobody cleans these things right. I mean, what happened?
Yeah.
And by the way, for the listeners, bladebutler.com. Give us how'd you get into this, Korri?
Well, the full story is years and years and years ago. In my old house, the one that I got, I had ceiling fans in the kitchen, and I hated cleaning them. It was so gross. And so I would lay sheets down, and I would go through this crazy process of cleaning my ceiling fans, because I usually looked at them after I had cleaned the entire kitchen and then couldn't stand that they were dirty, and then had this whole project on my hands. So I went on a mad hunt to find something that could clean the blade and then capture all of the dirt, debris, and just gunk without going all over the floor and the countertops, and basically just destroying everything I had just cleaned. And it didn't exist. So I went to Walmart and I got trash bag picker uppers, the claw things that you pick trash up off the ground with. And zip tied vacuum bags to the mouth of two of them. And I opened it up and I was like, this is what we need. You know, how is this not on the market? And I, was showing some friends and yeah, at the time I was married, and he told me that it was, not something that he liked. And so I put it in the back of my closet for years now. So years went by. And once I got a divorce, I went to a patent attorney and I showed it to him.
Now, hold on. Let me pause you right there. A divorce, you're doing your other job. What triggers that though? What happens? Like what caused you to like pull that out of the closet and were you talking to a friend and they're like, hey, you should, or what happened?
No, you know what? I had showed my family. Everybody thought it was this great idea. And it just sat for years, life happens. I just was always in the back of my head that, I can do it. I can do this. I think it's a great idea. Still nothing was on the market years later. And now I'm, on my own with 4 kids. And I'm like, this is it. You have to try it or you're going to have a regret or wonder for the rest of your life. So go for it.
What'd you do? You pulled it out of the closet, went down and like showed a lawyer like in person, or what happened?
Yeah, I did. My mom and I went and we showed it to him and he was like, okay, let's do some drawings. And we had agreed that with every commission check, I would give him money until I built up enough where he would, do the filings, and every bit went towards the process. So it took me a long time to get going. And then
so let's pause right there for the listeners. This is a great tip for the listeners, for any entrepreneurs listening. Basically what you did is you went down and you told the lawyer, you're like, look, I don't have any money to pay you right now, but let's work out a deal. Let's work something out here. And you worked something out. I like that.
I did. Yeah. He agreed. He said, no problem. Let's, if you're willing to do it, I'm willing to do it. It was really cool. Yeah.
How about that? Okay. Now, how long did that take from that first meeting with the lawyer?
Gosh.
Until you sold the very first one? What was that timeline?
Oh, 6 years.
6 years.
5.5 years. Yeah.
Hold on. From the time you met with the lawyer until you actually sold one, it's 6 years. Why did it take so long?
Well, because I had no idea what I was doing. So there's that, and was completely winging it. And I'm starting with a trash picker upper and vacuum bags. And I really didn't know where to go from there. And so I just started asking people, like friends. I have, friend that was an engineer and he knew somebody, and they just kind of led me to different people along the way. So I've been with quite a few different companies. And in the beginning, I thought I could just keep moving the way I was moving and doing it on my own. When the reality is, a team is better. For me, I needed somebody to come in to be able to bounce things off of. I needed an investor to get things going faster and really just push it forward. And so once I got to that point, that's where a really good friend of mine, who's like I don't even know what she is, mom, sister, friend, best friend, she's kind of everything wrapped up in one. Her name's Karen Spencer. She is the investor, business partner, and we collaborated on it. And then it started moving much, much faster. But I just didn't know, it's just lack of knowledge of just trying to figure your way through it.
Did she have previous entrepreneurial experience where she invested with startups and things like that?
Startups, I am not sure about that, but she is a businesswoman that is just a force. She, real estate broker. They've done a lot of building down here in Yuma. So she is quite.
That's how you know her. You know her from the real estate world.
I do. She was my very first broker when I got my license 20 something years ago is how I met her. Yeah.
Was that tough? Was that tough asking your friend for cash? Were you like, hey, you want to invest?
You know what it was? It was one of these things that because we have been close for many years. And so she knew about it and she knew what I was doing. And I would just give her updates and tell her what was going on. And it just happened naturally. It wasn't anything that I had to sit down and be like, here's my proposal with her. Okay. She just thought, I think it's a great idea. And I think we work well together. And let's do it. It was one of those. So it
Did
really was.
you manage to keep control of the business, or did you have to give her 51%?
Did not get, we split it 50-50.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Well, 50-50. Well, what happens when you get in an argument about something if it's 50-50?
We don't get in arguments.
Yeah.
We actually don't. We don't. And, it's one of those things that people are like, ooh, 50-50, but we believe in each other and we have had no problems whatsoever. And, in her opinion, she was like, well, I couldn't do it without your ideas. And in my opinion, I couldn't do it without her and, her valuable input. So
Okay.
we make a great
Now,
team.
I appreciate you saying all that, but as a longtime business executive and having interviewed hundreds of entrepreneurs and having hundreds of friends that are entrepreneurs, I know from experience that 50-50 can go south sometimes. What'd you do for the listeners? I think this is a great tip for the listeners. What'd you guys do in your operating agreement to protect yourselves with a 50-50 split when you can't make a decision on something? Did somebody get the quote CEO title to be able to make the call when a decision comes down? How do you decide if you guys disagree?
You know what? I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, we even have the same attorney. So, I mean, my guess is it would come down to that. Just maybe some sort of arbitration is probably in there, would be my guess. But
okay. Or maybe the operating agreement says it has to be a universal vote. Maybe it has to be, but maybe both parties have to vote yes to do something. And if one party says no, then it's a no. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's that's a tricky one. I'm glad it's going smooth so far. I hope she don't make you mad someday.
Yeah, I think we both live by faith and so I
okay.
Think,
okay. So she invests, then you got some cash and now it takes off. And what do? Do you hire some vendors like a marketing firm or what vendor do you use to manufacture it? Walk us through some of that.
So once we finished with the last engineering firm, she found IDP. They're in Irvine and they are phenomenal. Mitch and his team have really just taken it. They have a lot of connections overseas. The product is obviously made in China. We tried here, but it just, I know. It was really tough. We tried and tried and tried, and it just, nobody's going to buy a fan blade cleaner for $200. It's just not going to happen, So unfortunately, we were left with that decision. But yes, and then he steered us in the direction of Jonathan at Blue Tone, and they manage all
the marketing.
Jonathan does, yes.
Did they do the videos that I see on the website too?
They did.
They did the videos and all that. Okay. All right. Sounds good. And do you have a warehouse full of these things somewhere in Arizona? Where are you shipping them? Do they come from China into Long Beach and you hold them there? Or what are you doing for distribution?
So they were actually shipped down here to Yuma, and we have a place here. And so what we do is we just ship them out as orders come in, which is a lot. It's like a, whole nother job, but
who's we? Is that Korri going to the warehouse and like boxing them up and stuff?
And her daughter. I have recruited my daughter and her friends, and I am like, let's go do this. So yep, we do. It's a family affair.
And are you doing your other job still as well?
Yes. Yep.
You're doing your other job full time, and in your spare time, you're going down to this warehouse and you're boxing this product up. And you're raising 4 kids.
Yes. But they do come boxed. So it's very simple. We just print a label and slap them on.
Oh, you don't have to package them. Okay.
No, we don't have to package them. So it's not as labor intensive as you think. It's actually just printing, slapping, and sending them down to UPS.
I'm sure you've looked at the cost for just having a third party do the shipping for you, right? Why not do that?
Because right now we're okay with what we're doing. We were a little skeptical about just, I guess, bringing on someone else, and we wanted to
Okay.
launch the product and get it going and just kind of work through our avenues, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And how come you're not selling on Amazon yet? I couldn't find you on Amazon. What's the story?
We're starting. We're actually going through that process. It's a lot more intense than what I had originally ever thought. So we are. Mitch is doing an amazing job. Him and Jennifer and Holly have researched every angle of that. So we're going to be up and running there pretty soon, but just
And
not
who's
yet.
mentioned that? Who's mentioned that? Who's that?
They're IDP.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
that's,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. And are you paying them by, are they taking a cut of each one sold, or are you just paying them like a monthly fee for their service?
We pay a monthly fee for their service.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the business, I'm going to ask you this, and you can tell me, I have to cut it out later if you want to. Are you burning cash yet? Or are you making money yet?
We're burning a little bit of cash, but we're making money. Yeah. With everything that comes out, it's just a constant, obviously, as you know, you're in marketing, but you have to just keep getting out there constantly, showing your face, showing your product. And we were just recently, or I was just recently on the Phoenix ABC News.
I saw that.
It was great. It was a huge push. So, you just have to keep going. How do people find out about your product? You just have to keep stepping out.
How come you don't go more on social media yourself? Like your LinkedIn profile is, you haven't blown that up. Like, why aren't you out there? Why aren't you doing more things? What's going on with that?
I'm not super good at it. Yeah.
What do you mean? What, you're doing fine right now?
Oh, yeah. I'm not super savvy with all of that. I try to be, and that's what we were trying to do a little bit more with it. But honestly, it's a little out of my comfort zone. All of this is a little bit hard to do, but I'm getting better at it. But like LinkedIn, I've never even used it. And so I go on there, and I actually was amazing. So with the ABC news that came out, that little blurb, a guy that lived in Yuma before saw it. He lives in Mission Beach and just was like, oh my gosh, Yuma, I'm supporting Yuma. And he's been another resource for us. So it's just,
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I know.
I mean, here's the deal. I'll give you my thoughts on it real quick. First of all, now that I know the personal story, right? The kids, the divorce, the crappy husband with the power washing business, you met your friend, you worked with, she was a realtor. I think all that stuff's cool. I mean, I think all that stuff's interesting. It'd be cool to have your kids in there, like a photo shot of you and your daughter packaging the stuff. Somebody filming that, you being interviewed, you have a great personality, you got the right look and the right personality for it. I mean, I think if I were you, I'd be all over that. I think nothing against Jonathan and them and the website you got going on, because I like Jonathan because he sends us guests for the Riderflex podcast. But I think more personal is better. I think making it more I think people love that. I think people want to know, because right away when I went to your website, I'm like, well, where's the about section? Like, where's the story about Korri? Like, I want to see that. And I kept trying to kind of look for that. And it's not really on there. Not really.
Yeah. It's just like a little blurb on the bottom.
Yeah. It's just a little blurb. And I was like, so then I went to your LinkedIn profile. I'm like, what the hell? What is this? This ain't telling me nothing.
And I just recently started using Instagram. I mean, I'd
be all over it if I were you. You got to look for it, man. I mean, just why not? You should be all over it. Anyway,
it's hard. It's very hard. You look at pictures of yourself or doing something and you're like, oh,
look at me. I'm a 54-year-old white guy that's bald. I'm on video. You get used to it. Trust me.
It's hard. I'm getting there. We just launched a couple months ago. So
okay, so that was my next question. So it's like 2 months old. The website's only been launched for 2 months.
Couple months. Yeah. What are we in March? So I think we started taking pre-orders in December, I believe, for Blade Butler and Unlimiscent. Right. Barely. We're barely getting going on that. We were so unsure because it took so long to get product here, and they kept saying it's coming. And then, it was in
And
Long
then,
Beach, it didn't get unloaded. I mean, it's just, same
yes,
old thing. Mhm.
yeah, stuck in Long Beach with everything else. How many have you sold? Could you tell me?
Gosh, I would have to look.
Come on now. You know how many you sold. Do you have back order? Is it back ordered, or will I get it if I order it tomorrow? Is it going to ship?
Yep, it'll ship tomorrow.
So if I click order, I can just visualize you and your daughter. You're like, okay.
I'm like, go, Olivia, go.
Okay. Go ahead.
We do them probably, every day I send her with some, or, we do them at night or whatever, but.
Do you have enough to send to the Amazon warehouse and just let them ship it? Or are you going to be the shipper? Which one are you going to do?
We're not going to be the shipper. Yeah. We're going to ship them to Amazon and have them.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Do you have enough stock to do that?
I don't know. That's the thing with Blade Butler. We're not sure how many they are going to require. And then Unlimiscent, we're going to offer 4 packages of 4. So we're not going to do just a single. It's just not.
Okay, let's give the listeners now. It's bladebutler.com, but talk to me about this Unlimiscent. Unlimiscent. Does it have it? It doesn't have its own website, does it?
It does. Yeah.
Oh. What's that? What's the URL on that?
It's unlimiscent.com.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that product and where'd that come from?
So I was selling the house that I got in the divorce. And my boss said, go down and get, it was like cotton or something, smell for your house. Everybody loves that smell. And I said, okay. So I ran to the grocery store and I went and bought all these plugins, and I literally have Ziploc bags full of the different brands of the plugins, because each fragrance brand has to be in its own holder, right?
Exactly.
So,
yep. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So I came home with a gazillion of this fragrance, knowing that I had to have 20 of these plugins, and I didn't. I had like 1. And so I was super frustrated. So I went on Amazon, of course, and I searched up like universal fragrance holder.
And there wasn't anything.
It didn't exist. So then I called the patent attorney and I'm like, hey, I have this idea. Can you do?
He's like, hey man, you haven't paid me for the other thing. Don't be trying to get me to do
We're good. And he looked it up and he was like, no, go for it. There's nothing out there on the market. And so being that we had already kind of worked on all these channels with the Blade Butler, we knew where to go, where to start. And it was a much quicker process. It's been like 2.5 years. I guess it took us maybe, to have from idea to product here has taken about.
Did you use IDP for that too?
Yeah. Same companies. We started.
See.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm sure you're getting all kinds of input now from people saying, okay, is this going to be a household brand that produces products under a brand name? What are we doing here, Korri? What are we doing?
Winging it. We're just winging it. I mean, I have all sorts of ideas and things that I think would be great, but for right now, we just have to focus on these 2 and get them out. And I mean, I would love for them to be obviously a household name. I think like with the Blade Butler, my dad's biggest thing is it gets people off ladders, it gets people from, injury or, just really allergens in your face.
Did your parents invest, and have you taken on any other cash besides your friend?
No, my parents did not invest, and it's just Karen and I. We're business partners on both products.
Are you going to do a cash raise? Is that in the plans? What are we doing there?
You know what? Winging it. No, we're just pushing forward as we can and just trying to make good, solid decisions as we go, and are just taking opportunities as they come and kind of weighing them out. So we honestly, we don't have any intention of taking on any other investors at this time.
Well, pretty soon people will knock on your door. If you start doing more and more marketing, people are going to say, hey, are you interested? Nobody's called you yet. Nobody's been like, hey, I want to invest.
Well, we've had a couple of different interesting calls, but nothing that we're jumping on.
You know what's going to happen now? Now that you're on the Riderflex podcast, people are going to be calling you going, hey, I saw you talking to Steve on the Riderflex podcast. I want to invest. what's your valuation? Send me your deck. And you're going to be like, I don't have a deck. I don't want to create a deck. Right.
Well, if I need to create a deck, I'll create a deck. We'll see.
But you've never pitched for cash or anything like that. You've never done any of that, right? Have you?
No.
Wow. You are definitely in the early stages, but I'm super impressed that you got the products out there for sale. It's so funny. You know, I can't tell you, Korri, how many entrepreneurs I've talked to, right? And they go through all these things, right? They build these pitch decks and they got these whiteboard master plans and blah, blah, blah. And these 5-year fantasy financial models and, you know, all this crap, right? And I'm like, okay, that looks good. Where's the product? And they're like, well, well, we haven't made the product yet. And I'm like, okay, well, have you sold it? So you don't have any sales, you don't have any revenue, you don't have the product made. And what I hear you saying is, look, I got a good marketing team, I got a good manufacturer, and I wanted to get the product out. Let's see if it starts selling, and if it picks up some traction and earns some cash, then we'll figure the rest out. That's what I hear you saying. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're going for it. I mean, we're doing everything that we can. I think that we're on a great path, and yeah, we definitely have product before we have like the other ones.
You got both of these things patented. I'm sure it's all protected.
The Unlimiscent is patent pending.
Okay.
That one's a little bit slower moving than, I don't know if it's COVID or what it is, but that one's taking forever. But yeah, the Blade Butler has multiple patents.
Now, when I typed in Blade Butler to Amazon, I'm sure you've done this. I'm sure you've done this a million times. I type in Blade Butler to Amazon and boom, a bunch of little products pop up that don't really look like yours. They're not the same, but stuff's popping up.
Oh, on Blade Butler, huh?
Well, if you type in Blade Butler, stuff comes up, and then it's not Blade Butler, but it's other products that come up when you type in Blade Butler.
Yeah, I had a knife come up. Oh, is that what?
I saw other little things like dusting looking things. I don't know, but
I don't know.
it doesn't look exactly like yours though.
Oh, I do not know. I do not know.
Okay. But you're negotiating with Amazon right now.
We're working on it. Yeah, we were just figuring out everything that, it comes down to your boxes and what's stamped on your boxes and your product. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go into being on Amazon. So yes, we're definitely working on it.
You and your partner, you're not taking payroll or anything from this, right? I mean, you guys, you're not. Yeah,
no.
Okay.
No.
You're surviving by the job that you have. And your loser ex-husband is paying child support on the
I never said loser. You said loser.
Do you hope to be able to quit your job at some point?
Well, that would be the goal, right? I mean, the ultimate is sales and to really just push it forward and keep moving. So, I mean, yeah, we definitely see a future for it, or else we wouldn't be doing it.
You're definitely a creative idea person. You got other stuff that's in your head that you're like, needs to be invented or rolled out.
You know what I do? I have a couple ideas, but I'm just kind of, sitting still and working on these. I really just want to focus on this and get these going and out on the market. And, the people that have bought them, they really, really like them. And so I do foresee other things, but I just need to work on what's on my plate currently.
How come you didn't call it Plug Butler?
Plug Butler.
No. How about plug in? How about, let's see, Blade plug-in. I don't know. I was trying to tie the names together, right?
I know it's harder than you think. And really, a name that describes it. I mean, it's just like unlimited scent. That's basically where we went with it.
How'd you come up with that?
Mitch's team did actually, but you're not limited to a scent. So you're
I see. So I'm trying to tie these products into a brand. Like, what is it'd be nice if you could roll out a suite of products under a cool brand. Like, how about a brand called Korri Wright?
Well, that would be a rad brand, wouldn't it?
That would be, I mean, then you got your whole story behind it. It's Korri Wright, kind of like what's that? I don't know. My wife brings them home sometimes from the store. There's all kinds of stuff like cookie jars and plates and stuff. What is that? Not
Oh, people from Target.
yeah, it's
And she
oh
has
hell,
long, yeah, hair.
I forgot. It's escaping me, but she'll bring it home. She's like, it's a lady's name. It's a lady's name.
Oh,
And I'm like, well, I'm looking at the plate or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, what's so special about it? And then she says like the lady's name, the brand name, and I'm like, well, but my point is, she's got a huge following, right? She's got a huge
yeah,
following. So anyway, I'm just thinking
yeah,
all the
yeah.
different ways you can do it. Okay. All right. And so these are you're only able to purchase through your own website, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
No other way to purchase this thing for now. Are you gonna wholesale into retailers? What have you thought about doing that?
We're working on that. We're working on displays, things like that. So yeah, to get them in there.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna go Amazon, you're gonna go wholesale into stores. That's
Well, we'll see, but we're working on it. It's all about figuring it out.
if you go wholesale and you go into Amazon, your life could change. Your other job will probably go away, right? I mean, you'll be busier than hell. I would
Wow,
think.
that would be a good problem to have, right?
A great problem to have. Okay. So if you had to give any advice to an aspiring entrepreneur sitting at home with an idea that hasn't taken the leap, what would you say based on what you've learned?
I'd say to do it. I would say to definitely do it and reach out to people. That was my biggest resource, was just reaching out, asking questions. People are always wanting to help. If you're in the right circle of people want to help you. And that's really what I've discovered. People will go out of their way to help you, friends, family, just get you connections, resources to move forward. And my biggest thing is I didn't want to live with a question mark. I wanted to really see where I could take it and not live with any regret. I mean, that's no fun.
That's no fun. Yeah, you don't want to wake up, you're 65 years old and you're like, I wish I should have done this. I should have.
Yeah, and wondered. It would have always been in the back of my mind. And so I didn't want that.
Did you have any scary moments where you're laying in bed by yourself and you're crying, you're scared, you're like, holy shit, I don't know if this is going to work? Did you have any of those?
I think there's always a point where you go, well, what if, what if? But the light of day comes and you have faith and you keep moving forward and you keep working, and that's the thing. You just don't stop. You just keep working on it and those fears go away.
Have you put in a bunch of personal cash too?
I did in the beginning. That's how I got started. I did in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus the sweat equity, right?
Sweat equity. Yes. Yep. That is immeasurable.
Okay. Very good. Now you're not having to put in any more cash, but you're not paying yourself. So everything you're doing, it's free labor, including your daughter.
Yes. Yes. Well, she eats. She does her laundry. So I don't know that it's free, but.
How old is she? What is she, 11, you said?
No. So my oldest is 17.
Oh, 17.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So is that a junior or senior? What is that?
He's a senior, actually. Yep.
Is she like, I gotta get the hell out of here, man. I can't wait to get out of here. My mom's making me go down to the freaking warehouse and mail these packages out.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you want to see them fly, but then you just want to hold them in your arms. It's hard.
She's got to be super proud of her mom, like working full time plus getting this business started, right? I mean,
well, I hope that's the thing. You always hope that you lead by example. So instill good work ethic into the kids and just be happy.
Any of the kids in trouble? Has anybody called you from like the sheriff's office or anything? Cool.
Not yet. They better not, but no, not yet. They're really good kids. Yeah. The twins are great. They're in 8th grade. And my youngest is 9. So
how about you? Were you a good kid? Were you in trouble all the time? Or were you a straight A student?
Kid.
Were you?
Yes.
You never got any trouble? Nothing fun? Nothing? No, nothing. No.
No. I was perfect. Nothing has changed, clearly. No, I mean, back in the day, there were no cell phones. So I think it was a little bit easier to, go bowling a lot.
Wasn't it awesome? I mean, my God, I feel sorry for teenagers today, right? They
Yeah.
got GPS tracking on their cars. You can map them on your phone. I mean, they can't do anything without the parents knowing. I mean,
Yeah, it's exactly it. And then when heaven forbid, the cell phone goes dead, it's another level of, terror for us. And I just think, gosh, when you didn't know any different, it just was how life was, so.
Remember
Yeah.
those days? Remember those days where we could pull out of the driveway and we tell our mom, we'd be like, okay, see, I'm going out for the night. And as soon as you left the driveway, that was it. You could do whatever you
That
wanted.
was it until you came back. Yeah. My friends had beepers. I never had one of those,
No, I never had a beeper.
No, payphone.
No. I was too old for that. I'm too old for beepers. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I just can't even. It was so awesome. I do kind of miss the days where you could drive away and nobody could reach you. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now we're always reachable, aren't we?
Always. And if you're not reached, it's like, where have you been? Helicopter comes in. It's like, geez.
I know. I know we're almost out of time. You haven't had to hire anybody yet, right? I mean, not because it's all vendors and agencies and things, right? No employees, really.
Yeah, no, it's just us. Yeah, we're just getting started. Like I said, we got product in December, so we're just really kicking it off and putting it out there.
Okay, well, when you do need to hire people, I know this really cool recruiting firm called Riderflex.
We'll definitely reach out.
Well, hey, if you can make money, I just interviewed somebody. We haven't launched that podcast yet, so I won't mention that name, but I think he's doing like $5-6 million a year. Not a single employee, agencies for everything, vendors and agencies. Yeah, everything's outsourced. IT, marketing, distribution, package. No employees. And he was saying, look, here's the deal. If I'm using a marketing agency and they screw up, I just switch. If I'm using a distributor and they screw up, I just switch. I don't have to like fire employees, deal with any of the HR and all the rest of the crap.
I'd say there is something to be said about that for sure. There really is,
There is, I mean, I think it's a mix. We have 24 people involved at Riderflex, and I do enjoy the human element of having a team though. And, building a brand and building lives together is super special.
Yeah.
However, when you're dealing with human beings, there's always drama.
Drama, problems, sick kids, I mean.
Yeah, there's always some of that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last two questions. If you could call, when you were working at the dental office, how did you meet your husband?
High school.
Okay. You guys were high school sweethearts or kind of dated off and on or whatever?
Dated off and on.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you could call the young lady graduating high school, 18, 19 years old, and tell her anything now based on what you've learned so far in life, what would you say?
Gosh, I probably would just say never lose yourself. I think that was the biggest thing is kind of losing my center. So when all of this kind of settled down and life started moving forward again, I was sitting at my dad's dining room table and he said to me, "I am so happy you're back. I missed you." And it was like this moment where I just thought I really was gone. I was gone from being myself and my center and just being who I am. And that was an amazing moment. It was a hard moment to hear, but it was so awesome to know that I had finally come back from something. And so I wouldn't change my path. I have wonderful children that I love so much. I have friends and friends that have become family that I wouldn't have had I not have gone down this path. And I wouldn't be the person that I am had I not have gone through the trials and tribulations. So I wouldn't change it. I would just stay true to who you are.
Very good. Last question. If you could put your core purpose in life into a sentence, aside from being an awesome mom. So let's separate the kids for just a second, right?
Okay.
Because that's kind of like the primary core purpose, right? Other than the children, what is Korri's core purpose in life if you had to put it into a sentence?
Oh gosh, my core purpose in life. I think it just goes back to helping people, and which I love to do, whether it's the houses or, anything. My core purpose, that's a tough one. I
Sometimes
hope that I know that's a tough one. I just hope that maybe my story helps others, I guess, to have personal growth, personal love, self-respect, and just know that it really does just boil down to helping each other, being kind to each other. And I hope that people see that, through my story. So maybe it is just my purpose is helping others find their center.
Korri, thank you very much for being on the Riderflex podcast and sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I really